everybody, and welcome back to Below Deck, or as Rob says, semicolon, sailing yacht, because we are back. I just feel like before we even start, I'm just gonna say, everyone, NSFW podcast coming in. These 2 episodes were wild. Okay, so Big Deck Energy is going to go full tilt, just like the Parsifal. So before we get started, this is your friendly neighborhood warning. And with that, I am your host, Sasha Joseph. And unfortunately, Rob can't be here today, but I said, if we might get this podcast canceled, I can't go down with the ship alone. So I had to bring in the most ridiculous guest to match Gary's ridiculousness. Chappell is here.
I'm here. This was the perfect time. I have been dying to talk to you about this show all season, listening to you and Rob and Kirsten and Puya and everybody talk about this show except me. But this is the episode. These are the ones that you bring me in for. Sasha, we about to get canceled, baby.
1000%. Like, we're starting this podcast just so y'all know it's gonna happen, Rob. We're sorry. And we're live.
And we live.
Vibes only, baby. But yes, I think this was a really great episode. But before we, get everything started, Chappell, I wanted to say that we got in a really great review, a 5-star,
Okay.
5-star only. And they actually changed their review to add, love Bravo, entertaining is their name. I want to hear Chappell talk about Below Deck. They edited their feed.
What?
They edited their review to say this.
They must have already seen the episode. They knew they needed somebody messy and raggedy to talk about this. And so there's bring in Chappell right now. And so this is perfect timing.
So I just needed you to know that the people have spoken, and if I am anything but benevolent, so here I am. All right, you asked for it. If you're gonna leave a 5-star review, I'm gonna read it, and I'm probably gonna take it into consideration. So entertaining, here you go. He's here. You asked for it, and maybe you're regretting it already. I don't know.
They should be regretting it, Sasha, because like you said on Twitter, this episode was a bloody mess.
Oh.
And we got to talk about it.
Yes, but before we get started, because I feel like, again, this episode came in hot, so I'm coming in hot, but here we are. So how are you doing? Like, how has Below Deck been for you?
This was my first time watching this season. You've been
Yes.
talking about it for so long, and I was just like, well, I'll check it out. And you were like, no, you're really gonna love this. And so it started off slow. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was thinking, oh, okay, it's about a boat. But then somewhere in the middle, it became basically the Jersey Shore, but like in the water,
Yes.
And I said, okay, you have my attention. But if we get episodes like this that are just so messy and so wild, I don't mind watching white people's nonsense. I really don't.
Where's the lie? Where is the lie? Because here's the thing, right? Like, they barely have people of color. It's usually one, and just like they become the Lucy role, if that makes sense, where no one really wants to hook up with them or really talk to them, but they're the fun one, and the one we end up most of the time liking, not all the time, but most of the time really enjoying and being like, why do y'all hate him? Because there was this one guy, his name was Nate, on Adventure, Below Deck Adventure. I was like, if I was on the boat, it's a wrap. Night 1, hot tub, I'll be there. But no one was about it, and I was like, why? He's hot. So same for Lucy, unfortunately, but lots of sex to go around these 2 episodes.
Yeah, but with the same people, and then there's trying to be some intermingling. Look, before we even got into the season good, you gave us like a rundown, and you told us, okay, Gary's gone, and when Gary comes back, he's really good at his job. He's an HR disaster walking, but he's good at his job. And this season, I have seen what I would have to imagine is the big decline in Gary's popularity, because he has been such a simpy loser this entire time. He's not even that great of his job sometimes, because he's so worried about what's going on with these women that he's ignoring, the people who are supposed to be learning from him. And now he's trying to keep Daisy under his arm on one side, trying to keep Mads on the other arm. He's threatened by Alex, threatened by Colin. This man is in a blender, and it's fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm rooting against him. I'm sorry.
Oh, Puya in the chat said, Gary reminds me of Chappell. Is it because of the simpiness? Puya?
Because I'm strikingly handsome.
Well, you do not look like Farquaad, so you're fine. No one has seen you naked. None of us.
Yeah, none of y'all.
Yeah, no, you have never. What do you mean?
Right.
Never have I ever. Remember?
Exactly.
But yes, everyone, it's gonna get wild, but I can't believe that they said we're just going to bulldoze through all of these episodes because again, we're 2 episodes per week until the end. Next week, just a reminder, there will be no episode. We're gonna get reruns, and then it's the finale. So if they had all this juice, no pun intended, why are we doing 2 a days? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's crazy, especially because it does feel like they saved the juice for the end.
Yes.
And I think you and Rob talked about it before. I think a lot of it has to do with Daisy keeping secrets before the season started. If she had been very open about the Gary-Daisy relationship, they would have probably been able to like maybe build a storyline around that. Yeah. But they were working with scraps, and so once Gary gets there and Gary's like, no. Before the season, we talked and said we were going to try to see if we can make this work. And now you're hooking up with somebody else. They're like, okay, get the cameras rolling. And so now they're trying to churn these episodes out, 2 at a time. But it's a little, the season's a little back heavy. The beginning was cool, but now I'm like, oh no, I need more episodes. I need a lot more episodes. This is the time.
Exactly. But listen, we only have one more after this. We only have one more charter left. So I'm pissed that it took this long for all of this mess to come. But I just want to make it clear. This is what I mean when I say below deck. Like, it's hookups. It's ridiculous charter guests. Even though, again, they're so nice. Everyone's too nice. I don't understand why production can't figure this out. Like, start, as Rob says, start casting douchebags. Please. We need it.
Yeah. So in previous seasons, I'm assuming the guests are a little bit more rude, maybe.
Yes.
Because in the first episode, the guests were kind of like, I know y'all said it was some shenanigans with that. Some of the guests were like, oh, this is the time of my life. And then also I was so disappointed. It felt like they were kind of being coerced to say certain things. But yeah, everybody's been so nice. It feels like production says, no, go in, make your request very elaborate and extravagant and make them work hard, for the drama. And then they do, but then they'll just go, oh, this was really nice. And then they throw a ton of money at them. I'm like, there's no drama in the guests anymore. I don't know. Maybe Below Yacht's just not the series for that anymore.
Yeah, no, I think it's because folks know that they're going to be on TV. I think it's just not the same as what it used to be, where it's just like rich people acting a damn fool. Like I said, Below Deck proper, just the season before this one, there was Indians. I've talked about them so much, but like they're so embarrassing. These group of Indians, new money, obviously, smoking a cigar backward. Like literally the butt end is in their mouth. I like that kind of, and then lit the other end. But still, I'm so tired of idiotic people, but I want them on the show. But it's fine. Sailing Yacht's too classy for that, I guess. Gary's stinking up the place enough.
Yeah, he's stinking up the place in a few ways, because I think Chase gets in the room and says, oh, it smells in here. And
like sex.
And we know exactly how that happened. But Sasha, I know y'all normally go through the episode in order. I know. But come on. The last 5 seconds of the episode. What the hell is going on this television screen?
Can I say I don't like gasp, I don't like laugh out loud a lot on TV, but when I say that there were 3 or 4 times this 2-hour block where I couldn't breathe, and I think I was clutching my non-existent pearls because I don't know that I'm a prude, but by God, this too much.
Yeah. The conversation itself was something that I just don't see myself having on camera, and let alone in front of other people. But then also to say what you say, and with your whole chest, like, you should be embarrassed. You think the guests were embarrassed about how they were acting? Gary, it's gonna be tough for you to come back from this one. Sasha, do you want to for the listeners who haven't seen the episode, do you want to talk about it?
Let's do it. Listen, just like Hurricane Bonnie, we have Hurricane Chappell. So here we are.
Yeah.
And for folks that don't know, I'll set up the
Mhm.
scene real quick. Okay. So it's the last night of the episode 2. So our charter guests have left, but turns out we only have a 22-hour turnover, not even 24. We have a 22-hour turnover. So no going out. Gary's already pissed because he's, simping. He's like, apparently, I need to only be off the boat, drunk, out to have a normal conversation with Maddie, right? That's his
Mhm.
brain. You do you, boo. And then Maddie is talking to Alex, right? After, because they have a nice catered meal ready for them,
Mhm.
because to make up for not going out and partying. Okay, so Maddie and Alex are, doing their like kindergarten flirting. I'm gonna be mean to you, blah blah blah. So Alex says, "Why are you bloated?" And Mads goes, "Well, I'm on my period, so thanks for that, but I'm just kidding." I don't know if you heard the "I'm just
Oh,
kidding"
she
part.
said it. Yeah, she
So
said she
then
was
I
joking.
was like, is she kidding about being on her period or blaming her period? Okay,
Mhm.
hold that, everyone. Just hold it. Because then the night goes on, la 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 la. Mads ends up again in Gary's bed. And we'll talk about like my frustrations with that. But the point is, she ended up in Gary's bed, even though Alex, I feel like this time was trying a little bit more.
It did. It felt like he was like, "Oh,
Little.
my name has been coming up, so let me be present," you know?
Yes. So I feel like he was trying, but not trying hard enough because she still ends up in Gary's bed. And next thing you know, Gary is, going down. Here we are going,
Yep.
just
You gave the NSFW what
pleasing.
we gotta talk about it.
Yes. Gary is pleasing his woman as Gary should. The amount of nonsense he's put us through, it's the least he can do. Okay, so he said, like Missy Elliott. Is it Missy Elliott? Yeah, like a vulture, right? So he's there, he's living his life, and then the next morning, I
Mhm.
I really want to fight people because why is Mads like? I have so many feelings. Let me stop. The next
So many
morning,
feelings.
yeah, the next morning, Chase, let's call and know. Well, Alex told me that Mads was on her period, but that's crazy. And you'd think that they would slow down, apparently, when someone's, it's that time of the month. I don't know why you need to, but sure, why not? Sure. Then Colin is being shared now with Gary, and Gary's saying, "This is what I did. The boys walked in on me while, I was being a vulture, blah, 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 right? Like living my life."
being being a munch.
God, don't get us canceled,
It's
please.
too late.
Oh
Let's do
God.
it.
Anyway, so yeah, so while all of that is happening, Gary's just very proud of himself, as he should be. And he's
Mhm.
sharing, I was a giver. I did all of this great stuff. And Colin said, wow, even when it was that time of the month, you I watched that scene 7 times, I think, at least. Because because y'all, I want to be clear. Gary goes like his head, he becomes an
It spun
owl.
around. Yep.
Like, cause he's like, who? What? Right? Like he like constant who, and then the it does a 360. His brain, right? Like every horror movie trope come to life. He's spinning out of control, and he's like, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that. Why did you say that? You can't say that. And then the chutzpah to
Mhm.
to put his lips together and go to Mads, right? And he's like, "What's going on down there?" So at first I was like, "Do you mean down there,
Down
like,
below deck.
cause
Right.
yeah, below deck, or what?" But no, and then Lucy, as a good friend, is like, "I'm gonna step in. What's going on? Like, are we so mad about a joke Mads made?" And he's like, "F the joke. That's not what we're here for." Hey, Mads, don't you think it's right for you to tell me or not tell me that it's that time of the month before I went down on you? It's announcing to the whole boat, y'all.
In front of everyone. He basically was like, "Don't you think it would be common courtesy to tell me that kind of thing? Like, you don't think that's gross that you didn't let me know?" Gary.
Can I tell you, I wanted to throw up? Like, I could not believe he said this.
Everybody was in shock. I mean, Mad's face, Lucy's face, everybody was in shock because What are you doing, Gary? You too old to be having this conversation at all.
Correct.
Just Gary, you too old for this. Come on, my guy. You got to do better. Also, people are around. That's a very private thing that she, even if it did happen, she didn't share that with everybody. It's not like you were out there munching in front of everybody. So I think you can keep those conversations to yourselves within you. But also this spiraling, you got to grow
And
up.
she's young. I want to make
Yeah.
that clear, right? Like she's, I think, in her early to mid 20s. I think she's
Mhm.
24. And you are, I think, almost 10 years older than her. Like, have
Mhm.
a dignity, a shred of shame.
Nah, he has been torn down this entire season by his own actions. He looks like a fool at every turn, and that's what I'm saying. At the beginning of the season, like I was like, oh yeah, when Gary comes back, they're gonna ship up, and everything's gonna they're gonna start hooking up and stuff. But it's still gonna be a good showing for him as far as like a person who works on the boat. I'm like, Gary, you might get fired. You haven't been making a good case for yourself.
Right. Let's talk about this because Gary is not the lead deckhand. He's not the bosun. He's the first mate. So that means if, God forbid, anything happens to Glenn, Gary
Mhm.
is the captain of the boat. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's understand the power dynamics, the age dynamics, the like violation. How old are you to talk about that time of the month? That's
Right.
so weird.
And let's just call it what it is. Why are you so grossed out by this, Gary?
That's what I'm saying. That's
Come on, man.
weird.
That that
Also, how
I,
do you not know?
right. Like what you've been just kicking
No
it down
offense.
there and have no I mean, he should know. You was there. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't be finding that from somebody else. You would think you would know. Maybe he wasn't the munch that we think he is.
Maybe he's not good. You know what? No, because Mads has said that he is like good enough, and he must be good. Look at Daisy; he must
Yeah,
be.
Daisy sprung. Yeah, she don't want to be. Dear God, please, Gary, release this woman. She does not want to be with you. It
Cancer
seems,
man.
man. This guy here is a piece of work. But yeah, for him to spend the night downtown and then not know that that he had ran a few red lights, I just really don't understand why this is like such a big deal to him. I think you should really just be like, oh, okay. And then maybe if it really bothers you, have the conversation later on. But
Right.
again, I feel like you should have known if that was the
That's
case.
why I feel that she was making the
She
joke,
was joking. Yeah.
and
So
she's
what
not
happened?
actually.
She made the joke, right? She said, I'm joking, I'm joking, I'm joking. And so we're like, okay, cool. But boom. So then Alex, messy ass, was the one who told Chase.
Yes.
Chase is also messy. And Chase says, oh, well, if that's the case, I'm going to now make fun of Gary for it because I know that it's going to embarrass him that I know this about him. So Chase says something to the effect of like, oh, how was dessert last night? And Gary's like, yeah, you know me. And so I was like, okay. So then when it rolls
And they
around,
also don't like him. That's
right.
another piece.
Yeah, they hate Chase already. And so when Chase is doing it, Gary's like, oh, look at you. Like, yeah, I'm throwing this in your face. Well, when it comes from Colin, who Gary is threatened by, Colin's like, oh yeah, that's cool of you, considering that she was on her period or whatever, and it just crushes him. It crushes his soul that, oh my God, how could she do something so disgusting? Oh my God, like, come on,
But
man,
also, how can you be that drunk to not know? If it were true,
you should know, sir. You should know. Just saying.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how. I have not been in that situation,
You
so
should
I
know.
couldn't tell you. But the point is that, please, Gary, you're grown as hell and you can't get it together. And the point is, just own it, to say like, okay,
Yeah.
and
And then what? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, come on, man.
it
Again,
is so
Gary.
embarrassing. And I'm telling you, like, inject it into my veins. Like, he is
Yes,
such
good
a
mess.
fool because he's like, don't say that. Don't say that. When I tell you something, don't say that.
No,
Don't.
how dare you say that to me? How dare you tell me something like that?
He
Tell you what?
literally thought you would tell him his dog died.
Right. And she didn't say like, hey man, get your head down underneath the cover. You went down there your own deep diving and stuff. You You weren't coerced, you know what I'm saying? And you honestly could leave Mads alone. You know, you really could. But he's so threatened by Alex's existence on the boat that
Exactly.
he can't even like let it go. That like he's like, I got to assert my dominance in this. Even
Yeah.
after they did it the next morning, he's like outside in the hallway, butt ass naked, like, hey, you coming back, Mads? You coming back to the room? Like, sir, we know y'all had
It
sex.
is
You don't have to.
4 a.m.
Yeah, you don't, and y'all have to work in 3 hours. Let's be very clear. Like y'all are picking people up right now. Y'all should be cleaning up. And he's standing in the hallway naked, talking about, hey, Madge, you coming back? Yeah, she gonna come
Holding
back.
his manhood. And he's
Right.
just like, have some shame. He's in shambles.
He's in shambles. This man is a wreck of a human, and I'm enjoying watching his downfall this season.
Oh my
I guess I
God.
have to go back and watch the greatest hits of Gary in a way to kind of get the full experience. But here, this man is a clown.
Well, I have to say, we are excited that he's finally getting his lashings. And he says it in one of the confessionals where he's like, I'm used to doing this to women, and now they're doing it to me, and it doesn't feel good. So I
Mhm.
guess he's self-aware, question mark. But the point is, he is so obsessed with this person, and I don't mean Mads, I mean like this person of like, I need to be someone, people have to like me, people have to want me, choose me, pick me, right?
No.
Where he is so obsessed with that he's just like leaving any sense behind. And Alex, I swear to God, is underrated petty, because he says to Chase, you would think even when she's on her period, they would give it a rest.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, he's like, "Dear God, for the love of God, get off of her." That's how he sounded. Like, "Dear God,
Yes.
Gary, for give it a rest." Yeah,
It's
but
also, she's
Gary,
not a child.
right, and
I mean, she
Gary
is,
is
but
Gary is more self aware than he's letting on, because, like you said in his confessional, he does say, I'm not used to being in this position," but he even kind of says that to Mads
yes.
when she's trying to being cool toward him. She does make a joke at his expense, basically saying that if she wanted to upgrade, she would just go be with Alex. That again, that's like a shot to the heart. I mean, she hit him right in the solar, bow, right in the solar plexus, like at some point, and
Oh my
and
God.
and he's like, he's reeling from that, and so he goes to her and says, "So you think like you're just gonna put me in that position? So I'm used to putting people in that position. I'm the woman now. Am I a woman?" That's basically what he was saying, sir. Yeah, you are.
Oh my God. No, but please, women can be jerks too, you
Yeah,
know.
and he deserved this because this is
He
not the first
deserves
time. Yeah,
everything coming to him. I have zero empathy for this man. What,
none.
are you kidding me? Like the fact that he is such a big baby, right? Because speaking of what happened, so basically Mads again, they're all messing around, but only Gary can mess around with Mads. Mads can't dig
Mhm.
back, apparently, according to him, right? Like he's very sensitive. And again, just us cancers, this is a very problematic trait we have. We can dish it out, we cannot take it. Okay, it's real. Same. Okay, same. But anyway, so Mads shares, yeah, with him that if I wanted to upgrade, it'd be Alex, not you. Because again, he was trying to dig Chase. He was like,
Yeah,
yeah, Mads upgraded from you. No, shut up. Shut up.
yeah,
Don't get your
yeah.
lashings for no reason.
Right. Chase is right there being everybody's punching bags. Let him, because you could have just shut up and you would have been minding your own business. You'd have been happy, but you had to get one in on Chase, who is already, like we've talked enough trash about Chase this season. I don't
Yes,
have to jump on that bandwagon
my
because right now,
Eeyore.
Gary is the one who is like putting himself, you catching strays on it's yourself. You're doing this to yourself. The call is coming from inside the house because she was fine. She was not bothering you. And now you done made yourself look like a dumbass. And on top of all of that, we have not talked about the fact that he's still all over Daisy, when she's clearly moved on, or at least is trying to move on.
Sure, why not? But yeah,
Trying.
okay, fine. I guess now it's time to talk about that. Because the thing is, Gary just does not get enough lashings from the crew, and I don't know why. Like, again, like I said, does he smell that good? Like, what is the pheromones that he's putting out? Because by golly, this too
It's got to
much.
be the hair. Like he's got like the island boy look or something. I don't know. It's because
But
like
again, not my.
again,
Listen, Alex is right there.
she's like, "What are y'all doing?" But it's also one of those things where I'm kind of just waiting on Colin to beat his ass. Like
I
no
wish.
disrespect. I mean, like I'm not wishing violence on nobody. Save that for my 90-day fiance podcast appearances. But here, I'm just like, okay, you being kind of disrespectful. It's very clear that Colin and Daisy are now a thing. She even says, "I'm with him." They like going walking around hand in hand, being Facebook official and stuff like that. But it's very obvious that they are a couple, and that is fueling Gary so much. Every time he's with Maz, he's talking about Alex. Every time he's with Daisy, he's talking about Colin. Like, oh, so yeah, you gonna leave me for Colin? So, what's Colin gonna think about this? Are you with Colin to get back at me? Because I'm with Maz to get back at you. Did you hear him say that? I said, wait a minute.
Oh, this is when he'd get drop kicked, right? Like, because imagine putting your lips together. But the thing is, and this is, I think, my problem, or my like the overarching problem with Daisy, when she doesn't set boundaries. And I will say, as a woman, sometimes when you're in this position, right, it's sometimes easier to smile and nod than it is to like actually, be like, hey, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Because look at how he's lashing out, right? Like, he already shared a private moment, or a few private moments they had with everyone, even though she told him, don't do it. Now he did it, right? So God knows what else he could do, or he could share about her, because he seems to be really close with her sister too. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on that we don't know about, right? In their like friendship closeness. Because God forbid, let's say you and I ever like got in a real fight, it would be a mess because we know
all my
so much.
business. Yeah, all my
it
business.
wouldn't work. Same. So like it wouldn't work because you'd be like, well, let me go to this person and tell them.
It'd be done. That's why we are stuck together.
Yes, unfortunately. No, I'm just kidding.
But you did mention the power dynamics too, right?
Exactly.
So of course, like that's still her boss in a way. That's the first mate. If something happens to Glenn, he's in charge. And so it's like, yeah, she can't just be like, get off of me, you creep, all the time. Even if she doesn't think he's a creep, she's just uncomfortable in the situation. A lot of times, like you said, it's probably easier to just be like, ha ha ha, yeah, you're so funny. Let's continue to move on, and then just show that she's giving attention to somebody else, kind of like as a look at me talking to someone else. Why don't you catch the hint? But I'm telling you, it's infuriating him so much that it's empowering him, in a way that it's just he's so toxic.
He thinks it's a chase.
Yes, exactly, and not the chase that everybody's ignoring, because that poor man cannot catch a break.
He takes so many L's. But again, well, how can you compete with Alex? I'm sorry. Like,
you and this Alex thing.
If someone like Alex, if I were single,
right? I was like,
listen, please, okay, was like, look, would just like guess me over. Maybe my ego wouldn't allow it because, like I said, I'm a Cancer, just like Gary. It wouldn't happen. But would I still think about it and maybe take one step forward before I'm like, dignity, come back? Yes.
Yeah.
Chase, stop. Get it together. But no, yes. I think that's what the overarching feeling is. And I do believe, right, which we can now get into, is that Bonnie shared, right? So Bonnie's Daisy's sister. We were teased that she was coming on the boat, and they named this episode Hurricane Bonnie. Truer words have not been spoken, because she shows up in the guest cabin and she's like, okay, what's the tea? What can we not talk about? And this is how you know they're actually close, because that's how you talk to your friends. Okay, everyone. Like, if I'm in a new situation, I'm like, great, tell me everything. I need to know that can't talk about with other folks. And then we get the like, this person's hooking up with this person, blah, blah, blah. Okay, sure. But then Bonnie goes, I mean, Colin's great. Every girl's dream. I love that. But I don't see that for you. And she says it to Colin's face that Daisy's too bougie for you. You're basic.
Which is wild. Let's not like, okay, it's a lot of stuff going on, but Hurricane Bonnie came in and she was kind of messed stuff up, because she looked at that man and was like, yeah, I really see it for you and my sister.
You're basic.
But then goes to Gary like, yeah, you and her match. Y'all just work. It's something about y'all that just fits right. They're right here. Everyone is right here. They can hear you. We see you, girl.
Literally. And she's just like, they're sitting here and she's like, you should have been married, but the thing is that like only would work if you're on a deserted island and there's no one else. And then Daisy would be like, yeah, we'd have great sex. And Gary's like, yeah, we'd populate the island. You can't say this stuff when you're with someone else.
Right. And now I'm looking at Colin. Colin, my guy.
Stand up.
Stand up. Stand up, damn it.
Where's Rob?
What is wrong with you? Stand the hell up. This is ridiculous. You've got this girl's sister coming here telling you y'all not compatible, telling this other dude that they are compatible, that they're gonna repopulate an island of people because of how great their sex is. And you're like, well, I guess I'll just sit here and be here in case she chooses me. What? In case she chooses me, boy? If you don't, oh my God! Come on, Colin, damn. I'm sorry.
Again, it's the boat attractiveness ranking is Alex, Colin, Chase, and Gary. Like, I want to make that clear, and Captain Glenn somewhere in there. So, like, please, you know what I mean? None of this, the math is not mathing. Like, what's going on? And Daisy said Colin is like good in bed. But I want to get to that in a second because I caught something later. But the thing, again, Chase thirsty, right? He's right there. Bonnie, talk to him. Okay, use your lips to talk to him, to keep him company instead of messing this up. Because then the chef was like, I got to go. Because I can't be a party to this mess.
Right. And Chase, my guy, horrible, but he's trying anything he can to get some attention, and it is just not working. Because even Bonnie, who has been here all of 8 hours, he's like, Bonnie, come sit with me in the car. I'm thinking, oh yeah, there's Chase making his move, because at least they're next to each other, and he can start to, she pays him no mind, and then next thing you know, she's leaning over the seat having a 3-way kiss in the back seat. Not with him, like basically leaning on him to get to the back. Like, oh, excuse me while I go kiss this other person. These 2 other people that are not you.
No, I couldn't breathe, right? Because Mads and Lucy are showing off that they are having a 3-way because they're like, yeah, we do it all the time. Here you go. And then they kiss. And then Bonnie's like, well, I would like that.
And they're like,
hi.
Well, they go, kiss Chase. He's right there. And she's like, hey, Alex. And Alex
just gestures, come here, right? Like, he just motions with his finger. That's hot sometimes. Sometimes you want that. Okay, what is wrong with me?
That was wild. I'm like, Chase, at this point, just stop. Just
take the L, right? Like, look at Lucy. Take the L.
Be like Lucy. These are not your group of people. Yes, y'all all look alike, but that is all. You wait till there's a nice guest that comes on the boat. Be really nice to her. Try to meet somebody with a lot of money, and then that next time, they could be working. They could be waiting on you. You could be on the boat. Yeah, you gotta let these people go. This is not the life you want.
The life doesn't want you, friend. Okay,
and don't.
It has thrown you for a loop. It's embarrassing. But I can't believe any of this, because then the chef is just like, what about Colin? And did you see everyone take a step back? Right? Daisy was like, I'm with Colin. I'm with Colin. And Gary's like, I like Mads. I like Mads. Like, everyone let it physically step backwards, y'all. Mm-hmm. That's how ridiculous the situation was. And I love that Daisy's like, I'm just acknowledging that when we're alone, things are amazing and sweet. Yes, babe. That's called an F-boy. Right. That when you're alone, things are amazing. And then when you're in public,
I don't know you. I don't. Hey, I say, girl, why you tripping? Why you all over me? And then every time he catches her in the hallway, he's literally on top of her. I'm talking about hugs, grabs, they kiss. Yeah, they kiss. It's everything. And Colin is just trying to just like establish like some type of relationship. He's trying to kiss her. I mean, she's kissing him. Then boom, backdoor Gary's coming in for like a hug from behind. Like, she's so busy right now. Daisy, you got to tell Gary to chill. Unless this is what you want. Now, I'm not shaming her at all. If this is the type of mess that you want to be in, you young, live your life. But at the same time, this is work. This is your job. That man can have you fired. And you know that things like this don't work out in women's favors a lot of time. It's not fair. It's just the reality
And we
situation.
know Glenn is not maybe the most fair to
Glenn
Daisy anyway.
Glenn don't like you, Daisy, and he loves Gary. He worships the ground Gary walks on, and
Well, they were
everything.
full time together, like
Yeah,
outside of shooting.
it
So
shows because everything that Gary does shit is a fireable offense, and he's still here with the job. And everything that goes wrong on the ship is Daisy's fault somehow. I mean, this was a great 2 episodes for Daisy. I'm just gonna say that right
yeah,
now.
finally.
Things went on without a hitch in her work life, but her work life and personal life are starting to mesh together, and it's not okay.
Shambles. No, and that's the thing, right? Okay, so then we get a lot of cutaways basically on like throughout the whole 2 hours of Gary and Daisy like kissing or being again. I don't know that you would want your someone close to you doing this. That's how I
Mhm.
feel at least, right? Like there's no way. Could not be me. Don't ever catch me in these streets doing this. But the problem is just that when all of that is happening, they're just there. And this is what I want everyone to picture, right? If you haven't been here or haven't watched it, one of these cutaways, y'all,
Mhm.
was Gary's with a trash bag on his body because he has no shirt on. So he has literal trash on him, and he is trash,
Mhm.
but he has trash on him. And then he has Daisy, like he has pushed her against the wall and is
Mhm.
making out with her. So one hand is on Daisy and one hand is like a robber, right? Like a medieval
Yeah, like
robber
yes. It's
with
the
the loot
hamburglar.
on his the hamburger. Thank you.
Not with the loot.
Like behind his back, but it's trash. How can you kiss someone when they literally have trash on their body?
Yeah, she's
Can
like
you
I
imagine
said,
the smell? That's I literally made notes say, does he really smell that good?
he has to smell better than whatever trash he was carrying at the very least. But I think at this point it doesn't matter because she's all in. She's all in. She likes that guy. She does.
That's
We
valid.
don't want her to like that guy because she's obviously like falling for like the f boy of the season.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I don't think she has an issue with this too much because she could have shut this down. Now, I don't know what this revelation that happened with Mads if that affects her at all because I don't think that I would like enjoy hearing somebody air out somebody else's personal business and still want to be attached to them. But maybe Daisy's still okay with it. People do a lot for they are willing to ignore a lot for that's all I'll say. They be
Like,
digmatized.
oh, maybe.
or
There's
or
no
or
maybe.
just saying.
Let's be clear. They were out at Disneyland being the happiest place on earth wasn't in Disneyland, but in their hotel room, apparently. But I can't. Okay, I just the fact that this man has little trash on his back and you're still making out with him and Colin is right there. You're too far gone, is my point, right? And that's what I feel like I want Daisy to like fully embrace is that I don't know if that's the right word, but I just want Daisy to fully at least understand that I know
Mhm.
your brain might be like Colin's the right guy for me. He really cares about me. He's the right choice, but her heart down would like Gary on it and not Colin. So that's the truth. And I don't care what anyone says. And I feel sad that this
Yeah.
is Colin's reality. Because then while we're getting this cutaways, everyone, it
Mhm.
cuts to Colin overhearing all of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Colin, stand the hell up. You know this is happening. It's right there. You see this happening. I know. Look, it's probably get lonely on the ship. There's only like 8
Mm.
people on the ship. People like
Lucy's right
companionship.
there.
Right, Lucy right there. She right there. But I guess like it's just the companionship can't be that good to where you be on TV looking a fool. See, that's what I'm saying. Look a fool in private. You ain't gonna get no judgment from me. If don't nobody know, if a tree falls in the woods and ain't nobody around, whatever. But if we all watching the tree falling over on you, bow, 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 over and over again, we
That's
gonna
what she
judge
wants
you.
Gary to do. Yeah.
Drop the wood on her? Yeah,
Mm.
probably.
Yeah. He might listen, it looks like he
Wow.
actually doesn't care. Any state you are in, he enjoys. Just don't tell anyone.
Just don't tell anybody, and then all of us, yeah, he'll break down. But yeah, Colin, you gotta do better than this. Also, I know this is a show, right? And I know some of this is shenanigans, but Mads, you're gonna watch this back and be like, what the hell was I doing with Gary?
You would think so, but I have to say, many women have come and gone, and none of them have necessarily said they regretted it in the same way. Like, they've been like, "Oh, he had me in a blender." That's been the issue. So Mads is already, unfortunately, better off than most of those girls because those girls were fighting each other for him.
Ooh. Well, I mean, we don't know that that's where this ends either, right? Because we do
Well,
know
who
that
you wanna fight? Daisy?
I don't
I bet you not. That's
let
her
Daisy
boss.
have it. And I do like Mads in this situation because she is playing it very cool. Gary is all over her like, well, do you like Alex or not? Like, what's that about? Well, why are you treating me like this? What's going on? She's like, I'm just having a good time. Leave me alone. And I love it. I love it. She's like, if I want to climb in bed with you and do whatever we gonna do, then that's what I'm gonna do. Because you still want me in the bed with you. If you have some self-respect, Gary, maybe you wouldn't let me walk around here talking trash about you, and you still under here like a munch. Uh, like, cause sir, Gary, we haven't dragged you enough, sir. You looking kind of simpy too, cause you want so
He's
much.
the biggest out of all of them. Every person that will look at him, he's like, "Matt is mean to me." Shut up! But you know what? He's the Eeyore. How about that? Actually, I have to change it. That he's now the Eeyore because he's so irritating.
Yes.
And Alex just maybe doesn't want to deal with it, and that's why maybe Alex is not going in. Because I just have to say, I think that Mads answered this on Watch What Happens Live. That she did say if Alex would have tried, maybe she would have. So. Alex, please free us. Because we get a confessional from Alex saying, hey, like, this is what happened, and I don't want to, like, go in and, mess with Gary because, like, he's annoying, basically.
Alex could save us from all of this. He really could. Because that shuts down this mad storyline. It gives them something to do, and then it leaves Gary isolated with this Colin thruple type situation that they're in right now, this love triangle. And that would probably be a lot better because now you cannot watch this show without getting annoyed at Gary because at every turn he's being annoying. He has taken Chase's spot and just like lapped him at this point, right?
Correct.
So I don't know.
And Chase just wants someone to love him. And I bet you Chase wouldn't be annoying anymore if someone loved, even though I think that he's not as annoying as he was at the start of the season. I think he has tempered down. I'm enjoying him now. I will say that. Let's be honest. But also, the chef doesn't want you. She has a man. Move on, friend.
Yeah, move on. He did try with Bonnie. I saw the moves. He was trying to make them.
They're
subtle,
not good, but they
they're
were
not
moves.
good. They're not good. And also, his jokes aren't that funny. They're just not. They're just not.
I think
funny.
he's always been the hot guy, and he's never had to try before. And now he's like, oh, I'm maybe 3 or 4 on the hotness scale out of 4. So this is all bad for me.
Look,
that's what I think.
Sometimes you graduate from Sherman Oaks and then you go off to a bigger school and there's more popular, more attractive people around and you're just not the big man on campus anymore.
And then you could go back, maybe.
And then you can always go back home.
Poor Chase. There's a 60-year-old in the Carolinas waiting for you. We have a friend. We have Rob, obviously, can help you out, maybe. But we also have another friend in South Carolina that can maybe help you out. We don't know.
Yeah. You can settle down, have a nice peaceful life.
Correct. Okay, we'll help you out. But anyway, all of this is happening. And let's wrap up the hookups of it all with the most ridiculous thing that happened in the first 30 minutes. Okay. Night 1. This is the first episode, so episode 14. Night out is done, right? We've had our issues. Everyone's shared what's going on, blah, blah, blah. It's wind down time. Everyone has to go. This is before period gate. Okay, this is before that. Everyone says, great, it's time for master cabins. Bonnie is drunk and passed out before she put on the bathing suit. Been there, definitely. People have had to check it. Listen, bachelorette parties are a hot mess, y'all. Don't go to extreme heat and get drunk. Just don't. Okay. Anyway, so Bonnie V relatable. She's passed out. She finally wakes up because Daisy said, let's help you out. Colin, this is how you know Colin's a good man, because he said, great, I will help you out as well. And Colin and Daisy take her. Great. 1 master suite down. Or that's the master suite. Down. Great. Colin and Daisy said, so how about we go in the other cabin instead to, have sex? So cabin number 2 down, 1 left, everyone. Well, Gary and Mads occupy or try to occupy the same cabin that Colin and Daisy are in. Thankfully, the door is locked. Or I bet you it maybe without Colin's consent and Matt's consent would have become a force.
I think Colin would be in hell at that point.
But,
And I think
would he say no is my
I was
problem.
gonna say that's why I said in hell, because I don't think he would. Colin, I'm sorry. I just been watching you get cooked for the last 2 episodes. In my mind, you just don't have it in you to get up. You can't stand up. You was gonna sit there and watch this happen in front of you. He might not have participated.
Correct. That's what I mean. I think he would have huffed and puffed in the engineer's room.
In the corner, yeah.
Yeah. And Mads, unfortunately, her agency gets taken away with Gary, and I don't like it. Okay.
And she's young. She's having a good time.
Yeah. Also that. And that's her boss. Sure. Let's not forget. And
Power dynamics.
And then they end up in the 3rd room. And I've not asked you yet. How do you feel about Below Deck uncensoring every noise ever?
I am good. I am good. At the beginning of the season, I thought I was in here with everybody else. I think it was Daisy who says yes, I live off of moans. I was like, I mean, moans do be moaning. And now after 14 episodes of moans, I'm like, I am good. I am good. I don't ever want to hear a moan again.
Yeah.
I'm good. I am good. We don't have to do that no more. Keep that to yourself. No moan.
Oh, no. Or yes, maybe.
Yeah, depending on who it is. Yeah.
But so all 3 have been occupied, and production is so shady for this.
Shady as hell.
Because they give it, in case you didn't know, we get a little arrow infographic of who's where. But I feel like they should have also done a who wants to be where.
Oh yeah, so 2 arrows pointing this way and then 2 arrows pointing this way. Well, 3 arrows pointing in one room.
Yeah. And then the next morning, I'm sorry, you have a sibling. So I have to know this from everyone that has siblings. Please, LMK, okay? If you hear your sibling going for maybe round 2, round 5, I don't know what round they were on, would you just hop in and be like, I need love too, and just get into the bed?
I would run and jump off of the boat first, and dive into the ocean and look.
Your brother a Cancer man, yeah.
My brother is a Cancer man, so this is not something that's out of the ordinary for me to even think about, because I have been in a situation where I'm like, I will burn the house down if you don't stop. I cannot hear this no more. No, we are not doing this. I will burn the home to the ground. This is no, absolutely not. Bonnie's a different breed. She's not normal.
Like me, my sorority sisters and I, definitely have been silly, right? And this is not in anyone's rooms. I want to make that clear. It's that we joke, and we've definitely been oh, let's all hang out at the bar together, right? And so a lot of times end up being the 3rd wheel for a lot of these moments, because we don't take them outside, if you know what I mean. Can't claim outside the house. So I be so sometimes, and I'm a very loving drunk, so I be let's all be together, right? I understand, but I would never. Ew. And Daisy's naked for sure, right?
Yeah,
and the smells in that room, I cannot imagine the alcohol and all of that. It's disgusting, you guys. And the fact that she just goes in bed and says, I need love too. And Colin's like, yeah, come on, it's fine, a real one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just my toxic masculinity, but that just ain't happening in the man side. It's just not for me. For me, that's not.
Oh yeah,
happening.
What if you were with some you were in Colin's shoes and your partner's sister comes in?
I mean, if we're done, doing stuff.
I don't think they were done, but yeah.
I don't know if they were done.
No, because she goes, "Are you having sex?"
Still? Now that's where you draw the line. Yeah, that's where you draw the line. You have to stop at that point. You do.
Yeah,
because you're going to hell if you don't.
Oh my god! Oh, so you would be fine. This is annoying.
You can get in the bed, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah, but the next part where it's so I cut it out. Especially, well, I guess it depends on how serious it is. I don't know what Gary and Daisy's status is supposed to be.
Colin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Colin's status. Woo, God, all these names. But yeah, I don't know what Colin's status is at this point with this whole
Oh,
interaction.
that's true.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But I think actually if you're more serious, the more okay you would be.
Probably.
Yeah, right? Like, I feel like you're
Probably.
like, "Oh, this is, like, my person I love sister."
Right, exactly. Like,
Versus,
it's
like,
fine.
this is a situationship, and now this is not.
Right, now this is a party.
And I don't want that. It's incest. So
It
stop,
is.
everyone. That's fucking weird. Okay, sorry. Anyway, let's move on. NSFW. But yeah, I feel like that wraps up our like hookup situation. We don't have too much more of the other stuff anyway, so we're okay. I can't believe this episode. So anything else about like the hookup piece of it all?
I think we covered about everything.
Okay.
I just, it's been said before. I'm looking at Glenn at some point. He's like, you got to get a handle on this. Like, I don't get me wrong. I know they probably pay him good money to leave this alone. Correct. But if this starts to bleed into real life a little too much, you might want to do something because this is definitely an HR violation waiting to happen.
Yeah, he won't. I'm letting you know.
You said you said love me, pick me, choose me earlier, and it was a Grey's Anatomy reference. And make no mistake, this is Grey's Anatomy levels of messy.
Correct.
It was that hospital. No one's dead yet. Yeah, but I'm talking about as far as HR violations, that hospital should have been shut down 18 times at least.
Oh my god! You mean when you cut an L bag?
Not the L bag, no. I'm just saying you shouldn't be marrying people, marrying your patients in the hospital room. You know?
Oh, Jane Doe's? What?
Yeah, Jane Doe's, former surgeons, you name it.
Woo! Anyway, everyone, move on. This is not a Grey's Anatomy.
This is not a Grey's Anatomy podcast. So but I do have one of those on Post Show Recast. If you want to check that out, me and Ariel cover that on postshowrecast.com. So check that out.
Yes, you name it, Chappell has it. Okay.
That part.
Yes, the Gary of podcast.
No. Well, maybe. I don't know.
How many? Oh God, how many co-hosts do you have in your life?
How many co-hosts do you have?
Zero. What do you mean?
What?
Only Rob.
And you're a liar.
I am a Cancer woman. What do you expect?
Problematic Cancer woman right here in front of us.
Woo. Anyway, so then I do want to say quickly, as the food connoisseur, at least that I know, how is this experience been for you?
I love it. I love seeing the food. I think a lot of it is like a lot of lofty goals for a cruise ship. Like, what are you doing? Oh no, and on a little yacht, you're like, I don't know. You should be trying to prepare all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And what's her name? Ileisha? Is that
Ileisha? I think.
Ileisha, yeah. Ileisha. She's doing the Lord's work here. A lot of these meals, and I'm happy for her because this was a very good showing for her too. The guests normally have been making kind of some interesting requests, but this pride party that happens, this 2-day pride function, the request is ridiculous. It is literally a 10-course meal for night one, and then I think like a 7-course meal for the next day.
Rainbow. Yeah,
right. And I'm just like, that's insane. They sat there getting served food until 1 a.m.
Correct.
I was in shock, but also I'm like, I would appreciate that kind of luxury, but it's so much. Also, I don't need 2 gazpachos. If I get a gazpacho for the moose bouche, I don't need another one just because it's blue. I'm sorry. The little things like that bother me. I was like, we don't have to double back. We already had it. Why am I having a carpaccio for the 4th dish? I'm good. I'm good at that point. You really could have cut that. I get it. It's for TV and also it's luxury, but give me the carpaccio at the appetizer. Give me the gazpacho as a mousse bouche. I didn't need the salad. The zucchini salad was green. I understand. I have little problems. I did. But overall, Sasha,
I would be extra. Like when it comes to preference sheet, I want to make it clear this person right here would be the most extra. The thing is, like, I would be, I think, extra with the entertainment.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You would be like, no, I need to do the food.
Right. Like,
I would be like, it has to be kosher.
Yeah. I'd be in the kitchen.
We'd
like,
be in
hell.
To be
kosher. Yeah, this has to be kosher one. And also, yes, salmon is not the only orange food. Okay. Carrots and salmon does not count. Sorry, get back in the kitchen. I'm sorry.
Like, stop. Half the like Indian food. Like, please, anyway, I'd be like, it just should be Indian food.
It should be. Look, and I'll be okay with that.
I know. That's why I said it. Oh my God. Cool. But no, I just feel like it's ridiculous. Would you wear Speedos for a $30,000 tip?
Oh, of course. What? Are you kidding
me?
Right? What? I've worn Speedos for less. Actually, when this moment happened, I remember thinking, like, would I do this? And the first thing I thought was Tyrone would do this.
Oh, duh. Everyone, we have a friend. We all went to a trip to Puerto Rico. That is why. He 1000% would.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sun's out, buns was out.
Correct. Anyway, oh my God, can you tell that we are just friends IRL, and I hope everyone's okay with that. Anyway, yeah, I agree. I think that you unfortunately have to do almost anything for the tip, and Chase was given the tip, let's just say, because he just kept being like, banana hammock, Speedo, is not like, stop. But the guests were like, thank you, God, that you've blessed me with this abundance, blah, blah, blah. And then Glenn gives Gary a wedgie. I was like, are y'all for real?
It's something about being half naked that make white people just want to touch you. You know, I don't know what it is, but like,
I think that's just men in general.
No, not my experience. Nobody touches me.
You are also a 6 feet plus human being. Let me tell you, as someone that people have said, you could fit in my pocket.
Oh yeah, poor thing.
Anyway. But thankfully not anymore. Obviously, we moved on. But yes, it's just all of it is ridiculous. And I again, maybe this podcast is people are gonna be pissed at me. But why didn't we get Alex in a Speedo?
Yeah, people are gonna be pissed with you.
The hottest
Sasha,
person, the hottest person on the boat is not in a Speedo. What the fuck?
If you're in the YouTube comment section, just make sure you put stand up in the comments.
No. Stop. Oh my God. And yeah, I just have to say also, which maybe folks don't remember, but we have seen this guest before on Below Deck proper.
Really?
Brian, the primary, yes, was on Below Deck. And not only was he on Below Deck, he actually had a very similar preference sheet. It was just as long. So Bravo, I'm assuming, did this on purpose because they're like, we need someone crazy to come on, because Glenn does say when he's doing the not the preference sheet, but the one before the tip meeting. And he's like, this was super last minute. This just happened. So I think the production was like, we need this, because basically the primary Brian made Chef Rachel, who I don't know if you would love, but I think you would love. Like, she's chaotic, curses a lot, but also is a little out there.
Okay.
So she tells Captain Lee, which is the boat daddy, like #1 captain. He unfortunately has not been asked to return after 10 seasons. Horrible. But she was so pissed at Brian's ridiculous like needs, I'll say, and similar, right? Like, I want American fine dining, I want this, I want that, very similar, because I went back and watched the clip. She said, absolutely not, I want my ticket back and I will be leaving this boat, and told not Captain Lee, but she said it to like the ether, to Brian, definitely, to what Gary did do in this episode, to eat her cooter. Yes. And she said, I quit. So Brian did make the chef from season 8, I believe, of Below Deck, do that. So look up, Rachel. She was on America's Next Top Model, another show you love. So she was a model on that.
Was she from one of the early seasons? Because I've seen the early seasons. I don't know.
I don't know if you like remember her, but she was. So anyway, the point is that usually when chefs get all of these requests, like, we get a meltdown, we get like a frustration. But Ileisha, like, I just have to give her flowers, because she's so unfazed, and she's like, wink, I got this. Like, I can do it, versus the same charter guest got Rachel to quit. So I believe Rachel did come back, but either way, ridiculous, y'all. So I wanted to make that note about Rachel. Rachel's another person I think you would love to cover, at least.
To talk about, yeah.
And so it's just Brian is wild, and I thought they would give us crazy and they would give us ridiculous, but because service was on 10, that Brian was like happy, and they were just so excited to get whatever high class things they were getting, even though they were saying they're high class, but they had shirts with matching names on. You do you. We like to match too, but not in the same way.
Not like that. Not like that.
Like, we're not paying, like, we're done, being in, like, being active in our organization, so we don't need necessarily it on our backs all the time.
Yeah, it was like I wear the shirt when I'm doing service,
Exactly.
that kind of thing. But
Yes.
but we are good for, I gotta speak for my black folk. We good for coordinating something. We'll do like
Oh, same.
everybody wear orange, everybody wear yellow, that kind of
Correct.
thing. I gotta find a yellow outfit right now for a trip to Houston in a couple weeks, and I'm
You wore one
stressing.
to New York,
I know, but I can't
looking
wear it again.
like
People
Big
saw
Bird.
me in that. I was going for like a Tokyo street style kind of thing.
Oh,
That's neither
sorry.
here nor there. The
Not
point
me
was,
dragging.
no, the point is, in New York, everybody just dresses so drab. It's so gray and everything. I was trying to just invite a little color into my life. The problem
You're
is that
right.
people got pictures of me in that, so I can't do it
Correct,
again.
correct.
You know what I'm saying?
You're preaching to the choir. Don't please.
Yeah.
You're not gonna hear grief from me. So, yeah. So I wanted to name that, and we also are gonna get another guest. So we got 20,000 from the first charter guest, right? Ending. Glenn. Oh, we had a radio moment. What did you think of that? So Daisy was like, "My radio, it doesn't work." Glenn
this
said, "Wait, I got
this was
receipts."
silly. Yeah, this was silly. So of course Daisy has been catching hell all season, and Glenn's doing the thing where he's like, God dang it, where were you at when such and such happened? Are you not have your radio? So now they have to walk around the boat and make sure that the radio works in every corner of the boat because Daisy lying saying her radio don't work.
She
When in
turned it
reality,
down. We
she
saw
turned it
it.
down. We seen it. And so yes, this is foolishness. But and it's like, Daisy, come on, man. Sorry. I'm happy for her. She had a good 2 episodes as far as work
Yes,
goes.
yes.
But the complaining about the radio, ma'am, you work on a boat. They're supposed to do you're supposed to be calling your name. You have to be attentive. You are the wait staff, essentially. You are the turn down. You do all this stuff. You know the game. Stop playing. She was being a little brat at first, but she really got it together. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the second 2 episodes were like so good.
Yeah, she killed it, period. Like, she's back to being normal, Daisy, I feel. Because, Bonnie came. She was maybe not as distracted. All her people were on the boat, I guess. So we did get a 20K tip, even though they hit his head. I was like, 20K for no service? Good on them. Then Brian and his very demanding crew, which I love them. I would want to party with them. I felt that his speech when he was leaving on the dock was beautiful. He's like, "Oh, you're now all part of the family." Precious. And Glenn gives everyone kudos, especially Daisy, right? He's like, "Here you go, you did well." And then we get a 30K tip for sailing yacht, everyone. That's wild. And I want to
loved it.
like, that is ridiculous, everyone. It's amazing. And all of that, everyone's excited, blah blah blah. Oof. And then we are getting another preference sheet meeting. And I think this is going to be a little bit messy because Captain Glenn says, okay, we're getting Todd, who runs a wildly successful travel company, blah, 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 blah. Looking forward to getting, sunbathing under the sail with his boyfriend, Grant, mother, Deborah, his friends, and his friend. Great. Brad is Ray's husband. Nick is Brad and Ray's boyfriend. They're a thruple who like to travel and share everything together.
Yes.
Yes.
Everything.
It's Gary's wet dream. But interestingly, I have to say, Daisy says, "Oh, just like Gary, Colin, and I."
Right. And that's why I said this show has shenaned a few times and they're about to shenan again. This is foolishness. The show set this up because
Correct.
they just had the craziest 2 days at the last minute. Remember, this was at the last minute. We got this 2-day 10-course meal, 7-course meal. This person who's already been on the show before, who got somebody fired, they do all of it at those two days. And then they think, we do kind of have a love triangle going on. Wouldn't it be interesting? We've seen some 3-way kisses. It'd be interesting if we brought in a throuple now for the finale. Yeah, this shenanigans. This is production is putting their finger on the scale a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
1,000%. And I love that Gary says, "Yeah, he's just like the garnish on top." And Daisy goes, "Oh, will you be the garnish for Colin and I?" Excuse me?
Ma'am.
You can't. What are you
Daisy
doing?
playing games. That's what I'm saying. She kind of like this. She like that attention.
Oh, she
Why would you
loves
say that?
she has out loud said, like, she loves making guys jealous, which
Mhm.
again, I understand, right? Like, I understand if you're, like, courting someone, I also find it fun to, like, do stuff like this, but not when you're, like, fully established, right? It's not fair to Colin, like, it's
It's not
gross,
fair to Colin. It's
and
not
he's
fair to
not
Colin.
there to hear the joke and, like, be in it with y'all either.
And he gonna watch this back at home one day, and he's gonna look like such a sucker that this gonna be his villain origin story. And now he gonna be on them incel websites and stuff, saying rude stuff on the internet about women because he won't stand up. This ain't her fault. This is his fault. Stand up. You know what's going on here, Colin. Wake up. What's not clicking? You know what I'm saying? Get up.
Literally, what is going on? And side note, just so folks remember, on Watch What Happens Live, Daisy said Colin has a lot of explaining to do. How?
Yeah.
Where?
In what way?
When?
What happened?
I don't know. I don't understand because in Daisy's confessional, when she's talking about sex with Colin, she says, I mean, of course he's good. He's been with a lot of women. So he's had a lot of girlfriends, whatever.
Mm.
So me thinks that
Uh-huh.
Colin maybe finally gave her the same energy. I'll just say that
It seems like it. It really does.
because
And I
otherwise it makes no sense.
It doesn't. So I feel like it. I feel like there's something there for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we'll see what Colin has to speak up for. And besides that, it's gonna be mess, everyone. And next week we're gonna get an ABC party, which
Sasha,
I was like, how do you not know this?
Sasha, you how many ABC parties have you been to?
I mean, you know.
I think I went to. Oh, I think I only been to one. So
What?
I've done togas and I've done phone
Oh,
parties,
you
but
know,
I think
toga, yes.
the Sigmas at my school used to run the ABC party, so I wasn't really trying to do
Oh,
it. You know what I'm saying?
that segment
But
is so fun. I would like. Okay.
okay. But anyway, but yeah, no. So I think I've only been to one.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, yeah. 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 Norman,
What it,
listen, what else are you doing in Norman, Oklahoma? I'll tell you
that's
that.
true. What is your outfit of choice at something like this? Not saying what have you worn in the past, but like if you were going to do it, if someone's throwing an ABC party, we had an RHAP or ABC party
Oh
coming
my
up. Like,
god.
what would be your like
A cloak. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
a
Yeah.
like a trench coat.
At this point in my life, yes. If you're asking college, Sasha, yeah. You know, I had a little caution tape one. Then I
That's a
did
good
one I did. My friends did this for me. This is probably the weirdest thing I ever did, but I was a freshman and like the whole and I got invited to this party somehow, but someone else didn't. I don't remember. And the whole dorm got involved and helped make the outfit. So it was like a whole gift that they made me as.
one.
Yeah, and then they put like unwrap me as
Okay,
well
no,
on it. So
that's
yeah,
decent.
I was a freshman. Okay, I was stupid. Let's just say
No,
that. But
look,
yeah, so we had like I had a gift. I think that's what maybe I'd do again. That was a fun one and easy.
well, I know I mentioned the phone parties. I think I've been to a bunch of those, but I know
Yeah, me
I wore
too.
basically like a snorkel and swim trunks to the phone
Yeah,
party,
as the
and
Omegas do.
yeah, and I was inside a fountain, by
Were
the
you
way.
oiled
You
up?
know, no, I was inside of the water fountain. You know how they have those like water
Oh,
fountains?
yes.
I had got in
Okay.
there,
Correct.
which and it had lights. I probably could have died, but I was
Yeah,
whatever. It's having a good time.
college.
Yeah, college.
The college in
Anyway,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, my sorority hosted the toga
Oh,
parties.
okay.
Yeah. So it was called Olympus. So
I think we've exchanged toga pictures before.
correct.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, my stepdad used to sew mine.
Oh,
Just
okay.
want to be clear on that.
What? I procured my stuff from Walmart for the lovely price of $0.
Correct. Free
Thanks to
99. Yeah.
$3.99 from Walmart, and we hot glue gunned and figured it out on our own.
So I did that year one.
Mhm.
And let's just say because mine was not a toga. You listen. Okay, it was a two-piece. So it became no piece. So I needed to make sure it was wrapped up the next
Feel that.
time.
My toga has never. It did not make it home. It was
Exactly.
in pieces.
Exactly. That's why no one needed to. I said, please help me out. And he said, I got you.
Have they ever done themed stuff like this before on Below Deck, like a toga party or
Oh,
something?
always. Everything is a theme. So I think, yeah, when we go on Below Deck, because Ty will do all the planning. This is our friend with the Speedo, everyone. I think, yeah, I would like some dancers. Maybe y'all go on break for that one. And I think, yeah, we have to have like a toga, or we do an ABC party too, I think.
Right. And do you think Glenn is going to participate in said ABC party? Because
He's
there's
an
hints that
ABC party virgin.
Yeah, but they hinted that we could see Glenn trying to step out there and participate. I wonder if he's gonna commit.
I don't need that.
I kind of want to see him loosen up a little bit.
I think Glenn should stay introverted, playing his chess. Like that is what I love him for.
I don't know. I always feel like goofy theme parties are when you just step outside your comfort zone and just do something for fun. Nobody can judge one because everybody's judging each other, right? You're like, okay, you came in that, but I came in this, whatever. So I'm hoping that he participates, but I am looking forward to see what that means because again, there's no reason why production would come up with a bunch of people who are having sex all at the same time simultaneously with each other. Let's just get them in less clothes. Now, this episode we had them in Speedos. Now we're going them to wear anything but clothes. Shenanigans.
But the problem is people will like dress up extra because of it. And like, no, y'all, that's not the point of an ABC party. Just be serious.
Wearing a trash bag as a dress is not the point. You're always supposed to wear.
That's boring.
Yeah. Use your imagination.
Anyway,
folks.
move on.
Yeah.
Just know that we had fun. That's all we'll say. But okay, that is it. Do you have anything else for episode 14 and 15 of Below Deck?
No, but Sasha, this has been so much fun. I'm so glad we kicked Rob out.
On.
Yes, as y'all are the first mate and the captain, and I am one of the interns at this point. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're the deckhand.
I am one of the deckhands. I'm one of the stews.
You do serve a lot of tea. It's true.
And that part. And so it's been a pleasure coming on here. Can't wait till the next time I get to come back.
Yes, and thank you everyone for listening. We do have some social media stuff that Daisy posted Colin on Instagram, didn't tag him. So we know from Daisy that they don't follow each other, so maybe things are on the mend ? And or it could just be that the production was like, you got to post these pictures. This is in your contract. We'll see. Okay. And next thing is that there will be again no episode next week, so we won't be here. Sorry everyone. Hope this has been more than enough, and maybe you need a break from us. And last thing is Below Deck Down Under will be here July 17th, and we got a really weird I'm too sexy for the shirt video with Captain Jason, who will be the new captain. Very hot. Not as hot as Alex, but like hot. So I'm ready. Okay. Aisha will be back as Asia. Sorry, will be back as well. She is the chief stew. We've seen her. And this will be season 2. So that will start soon. Maybe we'll be covering it. If y'all would like us to cover it, I think we need to get to like, I don't know how many reviews, but like we should get to like 50 reviews maybe. If y'all would like us to cover 50 5-star reviews, and maybe we'll be back for the next episode or next season of Below Deck. And with that, thank you everyone for listening. Chappell, where can the people find you?
People can follow me on Twitter at Chappell's_show to keep up with all the things that I am doing, including post-show recaps covering The Walking Dead. If you go to postshowrecaps.com and search for The Walking Dead or search The Walking Dead in your feed, you'll see us covering The Walking Dead Dead City. This new series of The Walking Dead is still going on, and we will be covering all of it. And then we'll be covering the next series. I think it's called Daryl. That'll be coming next, and we'll be covering that too. So if you like zombies, come find me over there on Post Show Recaps. I'll also be joining Post Show Recaps next week to talk about the show Community. They are on season 6 of Community Building, and they're talking about, I believe we're talking about season 6, episode 4. And so 4 and 5. And so check that out as well if you are a fan of the show Community like I am. Here on Rob Has a Podcast, Rob and I, your favorite co-host. I heard him call you his favorite co-host one time, and I didn't say nothing, but I've been holding on to that for a while.
I mean, the truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth, and it hurts. And so Rob and I are going to be covering Netflix shows.
Cancers have that effect on people, you know.
And do. And so Rob and I are covering Netflix shows every week on Nothing But Netflix, our podcast. And so this week we'll be covering American Gladiators, their documentary that's being released. And so please check that out. It's going to be a good time. Grace Leader will be our guest. I'll also be here on Rob Has a Podcast talking about Big Brother with somebody, Sasha. And we will be drafting Big Brother players in whatever respective roles that they have. So check that out here on Rob Has a Podcast. And there's something else. Oh yeah, I guess I'll let Sasha introduce. Oh yeah, 90 Day, of course. If you've been listening to Puya's 90 Day Fiance coverage of 90 Day before the 90 days, I was recently the guest on there, talk about the most recent episode, and I had a lot of fun. Check that out. And then me and Sasha are supposed to talk about something, but we just can't seem to get it together. But I'll let Sasha tell you more about that. But yeah, follow me on Twitter and I'll keep you posted.
Yes, and as for me, you can follow me on Twitter at funsize_04. If you want to hear more, just check out Mess Magnets, where Kristen McKinnis and I cover hot topics, mess, and all the ridiculousness that is celebrity gossip and pop culture. And Jason Reed and I over on Post Show Recaps are covering Secret Invasion. Episode 1 is already out, so check that out on the Everything Is Super feed. And Never Have I Ever will be here sometime on the Silent Podcast feed. So check out Never Have I Ever by Silent Podcast. Catch up on our previous coverage, and we'll be back soon. Thank you everyone for listening. Bye.